I looked away for 1 second. I looked away for 1 second. And saw that my stream ended. I looked away for 1 fucking second. I looked away for 1 goddamn second. What? The fuck? The catch will just, what? How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet the bot isn't up? I love how it's like, you're live. Yeah, I fucking can clearly see that I'm live. What happened literally 2 minutes ago? Literally nothing happened. What the fuck? Okay, now Twitch just wanted to be weird today. Okay. Alright. But back on to what I was saying before. We're looking for a mushroom biome. Now, why are we looking for a mushroom biome? I want to build cottagecore things and be happy. In a biome where I don't have to fight things. Look, I just want to live out the pixie dream girl aesthetic that I thrive to have. To a certain degree. I am in the void. Where the fuck am I going? The game is lagging in. The game is struggling to load. The fuck is that? Hold up. Oh, it's one of these things. That was actually incredibly heartwarming to witness that. Okay, yeah, I'll take some kelp. Shit. I feel like this is the most I've flown in any world. I love how everything is just like, the fuck happened? I don't know, this way seems convenient. Oh, another flower biome. Hold up. Where the fuck were you? I was like, I should be in the opposite way of everything. Yeah, the winter cabin's behind me. I should have actually had that compass in my hand to make sure I wasn't going in the right direction. I feel so bad for the people getting two thingy-mabobbies. Twitch is just hating everyone. Oh, hello. What's the matter, Sush? Or, you know, if I find the Woodland Mansion, that'd be okay, too. But, Sushi, you okay? Where is the sushi? Oh, he's licking himself. I was supposed to wash you today. This spawn feels oddly familiar. But hey, Woodland Mansion. Or, I mean, Dark Forest. Dark Oak Forest. What the fuck is this? Did I find my hardcore seed? Hello? Like, deadass, did I just find my hardcore seed? I want to build something here. Oh yeah, because this world was like partially... I keep on forgetting that this world has like partially like the 1.18 and then beforehand. Oh my god, this straight up is just my hardcore world. Oh my god. Holy shit, it is. Oh my god. We're putting a lodestone here. Actually, what would happen if I just put like another portal here? This straight up is just my hardcore world. What the fuck? Minecraft just generated my hardcore world. Please don't, like, cause a forest fire. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. I will accept it. Is this just the perfect place to put the portal? Yeah. We're putting the obsidian here to get like a portal, just in case I could fast travel. And then I'm also going to put a lodestone here. Compass. I need an anvil. I know this isn't like my hardcore seed, but it's just very familiar. Hardcore place. This is my reminder. I need to actually... Fuck. Okay, thanks. A little bit of lag, but that's fine. Hey, baby. There is a sushi here. He's just on the floor. He's being sushi. Oh god, it's so bright. Oh god, that's gonna... oh my god, I'm underground. Just to see what, like, is around me. Oh, you know, hell. That's normal. Oh! I said it as a figure of speech, but now I'm in actual hell. I physically cannot dig down. That's fine. It's fine. We have a lodestone. Oh, my mom's calling me. I'm getting food. Alright. We have the hardcore place lodestone, so I can come back to this area. Yeah, no, this is like generally an almost exact copy of my like hardcore world. Huh. That is so interesting to me. I just think that is really fascinating. Because that's not usually common to see in Minecraft worlds. Why am I loading it? It's just gonna fucking hurt my computer in the end. So sorry, I had to leave to go drop stuff downstairs because, you know, gotta protect the pipes from fucking cold. But alright. Let us go back on our adventures. I also probably could just write down the coordinates. Do I still have Lunar installed? I was like, if I still have Lunar installed, I could make waypoints, but I don't think I do. Oh my god. I'm finding every other goddamn Minecraft biome but the one I need. Oh, hello. Pit stop. Funny enough, I forgot I had a potion going. Hello, don't mind me. You know, just here for your shit. Thank you, good sir. Nothing of importance. I don't think there's gonna be anything in here. No, that's just a loom. Funny enough, I use looms so often in builds now, just because if you look from like this side, they look like empty bookcases. I use them so often in builds. What the fuck? Did the motherfucker like? Did the motherfucker die because of like? What's the fucking word? Suffocation? Bread. I'm fine with the saplings. Should drown the baby. What? Yeah, that was an intrusive thought. I let that intrusive thought slip out. At the party. I swear I don't actually want to drown children. Damn. I want to explore this acacia a little bit more and then we'll go on our way. But oh my god. We're literally finding every other biome but the one I want. Damn Tubbs, you cursed my shit. Cows. Movies. Everyone's like, you can't technically count this because you're in fucking creative mode. Okay, I don't care. I like playing in creative mode. It's just one of these game modes where it's like, I just don't have to be so stressed out when I do things. And like, I'm allowed to genuinely be happy when I'm playing this game. And I can work on improving my builds. And a free Unbreaking 3 pickaxe. Or, not pickaxe. Fishing rod. What to get? See you at the movies. Curse of Vanishing? Absolutely not. I'm surprised none of you have tridents. Emerald, wheat, coal. Look at the C3. Oh! I spoke way too fucking soon. Hey buddy. Hey friend. Give me your trident. Oh my god! Temporary treasure map. And just for the hell of it. Oh my god, I said that was a joke. I was not actually expecting me to forget the trident. Never forget the day I got like an enchanted trident on a server I was playing on. And all of us just lost our shit for a hot second. Yeah, no. Enderman. Oh shit, another village. Damn. The bullshit working out for everything else but what I need. Yeah, again, I have unnatural Minecraft luck. Oh, there it is. There we go. I don't want villagers falling into, like, their deaths and I being blamed for it. Oh, that's a child. What the fuck? Oh. I thought the iron golem died again. I was about to be like, why do iron golems just keep dying in my fucking presence? This is actually a nice sized village. Oh shit, this is the first time I've actually seen one of these. I actually really don't see these villages that often. Or the, like the... Never mind, this is actually a really tiny ass village. There's only 1, 2... There's only 5 buildings. Never mind. That's actually really tiny. Okay, we're still in the opposite direction of the cabin. So that's... So this is working out fine. I'm going like a new directional. This is where you're going to see all the new fucking like... This is where you're going to see all the 1.18 fucking world generation coming in. We gotta make a pit stop for Pretty Forest. Pretty Forest pit stop. Never mind. What the fuck happened here? I thought that was another village. Desert? 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 No. Beach. I'm also probably just going to stream until 9 because I'm a little bit sleepy, as we saw. But... Do you have a trident, good sir? No, thank you. I should have actually pulled out my trident so I can travel in the water. Is this the same one? Oh shit, no it's not. It's a different one. Hell yeah. No, yeah, I'll take some wheat. Turtle. Oh, shit. Water breathing, I'll take it. Damn. You guys can have that. Which way does winter happen? We're just gonna go this way. We're gonna travel this way more. You are still more beach. I've not found that many deserts. Also, we come to the conclusion that my Minecraft character is fucking naturey a bitch. Why? Because this bitch keeps spawning on trees. I don't know who told me I could travel and like spawn in trees like a bitch, but here I am. Actually, no, it goes into the Feywild creature. It's fine. Lapis. Do you gotta try it on you, good sir? No, cool. That one zombie. Damn. I'm not gonna get over that. That try it and fuck. I thought that was a joke. I thought I saw a monument for a second. Tiny land. Some iron. Land. That's just cool. See, like, I think the 1.18 gave a lot of, like, cool spawns, but there's also times I'll just be, like, exploring. I'm just like, why? Why is this here? Oh, my food's here. See, like this one. That's just unnecessary. I'm gonna go get my food. I'll be back. We got the McDonald's Sprite. Funny enough, I put that energy into the universe. We about to go into another plane of fucking existence. Damn, me actually getting, like, warm McDonald's? That's new. I can survive for 30 minutes. Let's go. Zoomy time. Yeah, where's my straw at? Buck's coming in a little bit. He's right behind me. We about to go into another plane of fucking existence. Delicious. $20 zoomy time. We'll make the pit stops along the way. Puppy. Also making sure I'm not going back. Okay. Those are pretty. Those are. I'm too lazy. Oh, hi, pup. I didn't realize you came in. Ah, get me out of this fucking biome. Yeah, get me out of this build. Puppy. Damn, McDonald's is lacking. Their fries ain't taste good. I will eat the shell of these fries though. Village pit stop. Actually, no, I'm good with this chest. Oh, this is a big village. Forgot how much I hate these village doors, the ones that have the two. Ooh, that poor villager. Oh, I'm sure there is a villager down there. Hey, thank you so much for opening your chest up to me. Actually, that was the blacksmith. Thank you so much for opening your blacksmith to me. I'm not gonna need anything from here, but like just to make sure. Yep. Then there used to be a spruce building that had like... Oh, I think that's it. I'll take the bread. 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 Yeah, I was about to say, isn't there used to be like the spruce building, like the spruce houses used to have two? Like two floors. And then this one would like technically be like slightly underground. Bread. Bread. More bread. Oh, sweet berries. What can I get rid of? Get rid of the kelp for right now. Hey there, buddy. Oh, it's on the bed. Actually, I need an anvil. I just think it's funny that we were talking about McDonald's Sprite, and then I fucking get McDonald's Sprite. I did it the wrong way, but that's fine. Ignore that. This way we go. Nothing looks to be interesting. Well, that's cool. Come on, game. Please give me mushroom biome. No, that's just a beach. Can I just continue flying forward? Oh god. Dodge and weave, bitch. Dodge and weave. I need this biome. Sorry. Ah. Yeah, I was like, this is a different tundra, so let me just, like, grab this for just the points of having it. I forgot the name of that biome. I could just go look, but I don't want to because I'm a lazy bitch. So in this world, I've yet to find a desert or a mushroom biome. Every other biome I've found. Dark forest, birch forest. Oh hell yeah! It seems like the dark and the birch forest are somehow always next to each other. That was a short dark forest, but I'm okay with it. As much as I have a bias against dark forest, I'm okay with them being like small for like this type of journey. Ooh. Vanishing Fortune, Silk Touch, Fire Charge. Oh, wow! More Birch Forest. I love how since I got this texture back, my brain like recognizes the biomes faster. Yeah, long boys. I just witnessed a murder. We didn't see shit. Chat, we did not witness anything. We are good civilians. No, we're gonna expand this search to also for a desert. So sorry, my boy accidentally flicked your tail. Funny enough, my teacher gave this to me. And when I tell you I turned into a toddler, I turned into a toddler. Let's make it. What have I missed? I'm making nothing really. I've honestly just been looking for a mushroom biome or a desert, and just every time I see pretty biome, my brain gets distracted. That's really all you missed. We also watched like 2 YouTube videos. Aqua Infinity, Flint and Steel, not worth it. We watched the best of 2020 for the Russian Badger, and then there was one other video we watched, and my brain's just like not wanting to comprehend. That's more of the fucking birch. Why the fuck is the birch biome so fucking big? I know I can use commands, but I want to have the satisfaction of finding it myself. Why is there so many cows? Oh my god. On the stream I heard, we don't see, so I mean, we did not witness a murder. We did not see a murder. Nothing happened. We did not see shit. We did not. Dolphins. We did not witness a bunch of sheep murder. We did not witness a bunch of sheep get murdered. Nothing happened. We didn't see shit. Nothing bad ever happens in the Minecraft world. Murders, murders. We did not see shit. There was no murder. Nothing bad happened to those sheep. Nothing bad ever happened to them. The wolves were just playing pretend. Oh, I also gotta try and... Which I said is like a joke. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I got the trident and fucking got to get... Hello? How did you die? Where did the Nautilus shell come from? Where did the Nautilus shell come from? Where did the Nautilus shell come from? Poggers, he drowned. Perfect. What the fuck is this? I was about to say, I've been so focused on, you know, these two, I've completely neglected the home compass. This Minecraft world's gonna hate me. We found another biome. We found the big boy birch trees. I also got McDonald's. He drowned, but wouldn't that make him a drowned? My god. The birch biome got something against me. Damn, the birch biome really do got something against me. Also got McDonald's Sprite. And a lot of yelling. Very spooky. That's bad. Yep. Oh, we watched Sneaky Stag's video. That's what the first video I watched was. I love why it took me a second to realize that. Damn, the 18th generation do want me. No! How did we find another one? Ah, fuck. If this is a fucking birch jungle, Darkwood crossover, I'm gonna lose my shit. There ain't no way these things are just mine now. You mean clown juice? Yes. Please. No. We've already come to... Hello there. Hello there. Please, we've already come to, like, the conclusion that, like, the forest is my best friend in this godforsaken game. Like, unnaturally. Like, there ain't no way. I was working on, like, the, hey, let me have, like, another hardcore world that I can work on, like, the side and shit. Tell me why, out of, like, 3 of the spawn, like 10 of the spawns, aren't deserts really fucking common? Not anymore! Not for my ass! I have found every other goddamn biome but a desert. I found 2 fucking jungles. 3. I found 3 jungles. Not one desert. I found everything else but that. Get fucked. I know. When I tell you, Minecraft is just have trees, it's have trees. I swear to God, if that's a dark forest. Please, I already have a waypoint. That's like, please, spare me. Spare me. Please don't let that be a dark. Thank God. But for some fucking reason, the fuck is that? For some reason, my jungles really like to be spawned next to birch wood. Like birch and dark wood. I don't know why. I don't know what sorcerer. Oh my God. Why are you so curious? Oh damn, that was nothing. I just got really curious. Oh, never mind. This is a ravine. See, the trees just like me. It's fine. I've never seen this shit like me so goddamn much. I'm the Lorax, I'm friends with the trees, and the trees say fuck you. I found another fucking savannah. I'm one with the trees, and they say fuck you. Dodge and weave! Ah! The fuck was that sound? Okay. No. Get rid of it. Burn it. Alright, yeah. I keep thinking that, like, the second compass is, like, leading me in the wrong direction. That's for the nether, dumbass. What's up with the birch forest? Hello? I spoke too soon. I spoke too fucking soon. Unless this is the same- I hit my mic by accident. Unless this is the same one we found before. I spoke too soon. Probably not, because it's generating in. Good sir, I did not agree to this shit happening. Good sir, do you have a drain? Hello. Nope. Look, I just love... I literally spoke... Oh my god, I literally spoke way too damn soon. What the fuck is this? I am the Lorax XP for myself and I say fuck you and many more trees for you. I spoke way too goddamn soon. What's next? I saw you. Goddamn. We're going this way. I'm sorry, I never saw that pop up. Why did that just say saving world? What? No, that's island. Desert or beach? Desert or beach? Desert or beach? It's fucking beach. Are you normal or savannah? Savannah! Wait, 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 wait. Hold up. Fuck up. Bat cave. Is that really called the Bat cave? Mention Batman in it. Yes. 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 I'm actually pretty sure it's called something else, unless I was genuinely stupid. I still have not changed the name. And, you know, avoided the copyright. Yeah, I still have it called the Batcave. Whoopsie. Orphans. Shit, you right. We are generally actually supposed to use that. There ain't no way. Hold up. There ain't no way someone who used to, you know, be an active person in my Discord try to friend me. Get the fuck out of here. Listen, vote. Do it. Do it. Do it. God damn, I said I like birch once. I said I like birch wood to use in my builds when it complementary with the dark wood. I did not expect the motherfuckers to just spot it. Get out of here with that bullshit. Please, Minecraft, I request a single boy. That's not what I requested. I love how I downloaded something to make my life easier. I've done it perfect. Now it depends. Which Batman are you? Are you the Christopher Nolan, Ben Affleck, or the fucking new guys whose name completely just slipped my mind? Which Batman are you? All of them. Perfect. Fuck you, I'm Batman. Robert Pattinson, that's his motherfucker's name. Stop! We're going. We're leaving. Stop. I have found too many fucking birch forests enough that I could probably commit a felony crime against one of them to be fine. That Scrooge is getting clipped. Please, please, all I request is a desert. Hold up, have we even found a warm ocean yet? RP, my dad right there. My parents finally hit, you know, divorce arc. I'm kidding. But they're acting like they're divorced. But you know, ain't... Leave me alone. Leave me alone. No, goodbye. Please tell me that's just that. Please, please, spare me. Spare me. Spare me. If I see another goddamn one of any stream, I swear to God, let me be. Let me be. Free me from my shackles. Please. Am I free? Am I good? Am I good for like right now? Birch Forest soon. Again, I'm not scared of a birch forest. I'm just annoyed at how often they're spawning. Hey chat, we found the first shipwreck. For a second I thought that was a bee. So that's the first time I really picked up anything spruce related. Goddamn. My bad. I honestly did that as a joke. I did not think that would actually give me anything. How the fuck did I know that would be there? I did not think that would be there. Fuck. Okay. So that happened. Swamp! We found a swamp! Yeah, a tiny swamp, but it's a swamp nonetheless. Oh my god, we found a savanna as well. Oh my god! We found a mangrove! Oh my god, I forgot about this biome! chokes on my own breath. We found a mangrove biome. And I'm out of fries. Oh my gosh! I haven't found one of these. I hope it's raining. Chokes on air with the rain. Look, I'm just... Well, that was crunchy as fuck. Look, all I'm saying is sometime air wants to choke my ass. In a non-kinky way. Okay, there's bacon on this. I did not ask there for it to be bacon, but that's okay. Why are tropical fish here? Is this tropical water? No, then why the fuck are they here? I guess mangrove swamps have warm water. Mud. Oh, I guess that was mud. My children! My flowers! Chokes on air clipped. God damn it. Good, it's good TikTok content. I broke it. You are an abomination. You are an abomination. I hate how they look. I hate how they look so much. Why is the thing blinking at me? Why is my music clip like blinking at me? Or it was. Look, sometimes air. Wow, hello. Is that moss? That's actually a really cool way to use moss. Holy shit. Mangrove. This is the first time I've naturally found a mangrove forest. Huh. I like them. To a certain degree. Fuck you, sheep. Desert or beach? Desert, it's a fucking beach. God damn it, wait. Mangrove biome? Yeah. It's the new biome that came out with the frogs. Thank you, you're feeding me my own content. That's also like the second time I've choked on stream within a month. It's not my favorite biome, but I do think the wood is really pretty. It's not helping that it's fucking raining and I'm flying. They just give more to like the swamp biome. Big boys. Okay, back on the journey. Nah. Nah, that's what you said. That is clipped. Perfect. Look, some things I just personally think are audio potential. Like there's one TikTok I posted. There's no content to it. I just thought it was a funny audio potential. Yeah, you know, sometimes air just needs to choke the life out of you. Hello, dolphin. whore. You bitch. You fucking cunt. I know Sushi. Sushi made a grunt, so it... How the fuck? I had to use force to clip that shit back on. I didn't even have you on the last one. How the fuck did you break? Whatever. It's fine. I see something. God, shader packs with this shit's the greatest goddamn adventure. Oh. I was about to cry. I was about to say I did it. I broke Minecraft. When I swear all horse. Yeah. I can't tell if it's nighttime or that's about to be a thunderstorm. Sometimes air just needs to choke us and remind us we're all horse. Yeah. Fuck that. What the fuck is being cooked in my house? Yeah, fuck that island. That smells vaguely of leftovers and or spaghetti. Oh, not the peaceful Minecraft music coming in. Fucking copper. We're going on a trip to see what the... That scared the shit out of me for a second. I thought this was a birch forest. I was about to gently just leave. No more Minecraft. Oh, game broke. Oh, game broke, literally. Ah! Was that just feathers and books? Cool, that was kind of worthless. These islands, my brain's just like, just go past them. A broken game, a broken game. Please, I request just a mushroom biome, please. Hey, where's the chest at? Yeah, I should have figured. Nothing of importance. Fuck the buried treasure chest. I've already found 2. Desert? 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 No. Just portrayal. The fuck is this? Oh, maybe? Hold up. Pause. No, damn it. I can't tell if this is the, typing is hard. I've drunken so much tea this week. Dude, tea is kind of pog. That's a flower biome right there if I've ever seen a flower biome. Which I do know, because I fucking live in one. Well, at least it's not a birch biome. At first second I thought I heard ghast. I was about to be like 6 or 8 packets. God damn! You know what, to be fair, I went through like 3 when I got sick in school, so I cannot judge. This is a big ass flower biome. Holy shit. Desert or beach? Beach or desert? It's a beach. This is a big boy. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Who let the who let the fucking flower biome go this way? Oh my god. Who let the flower biome? Oh, gray with milk is what I've been using. That's good. I've never had it with milk. It's probably because I do not trust my school. Stop, I'm hungry. Ew, I don't know what packet I used. To be fair, I just stole my tea from my school. The packets no one used, so I just took an entire box and they never caught me or told me to put it back. Interesting. Big foot. That's gonna cause a fire. Quickly start running before Wayward starts commits arson. No! Fuck! Alright, that's end of stream, children. We found the birch forest. My game actually broke. Oh my god. Send him ending stream if I find a birch forest. Fire. More arson. Go yell at Wayward for the arson. Ah! The game was like, here you go, end your fucking stream, bitch. Okay. I swear I was live for longer. It's just like, for like the first hour and a half, the fucking stream cut off randomly. Don't know what happened. Alright, who's live? Who can I go bully slash, who can I go bully? Clipped? The fuck was clipped? Voice. Leave me for somebody else. I'm gonna look at my fucking clip things. Which can I go bully? I go bully my friends, but none of my friends are online. Virtually Nyx and V haven't been seen in 3 months. Tubbs fucking is in a different country, so he fucking should be sleeping. I swear to God, if you're awake, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. And then, Gracie streams earlier than I do. So it's kind of just all my friends aren't online. That worked. Well, Tubbs was live earlier. It's not Gracie's scheduled day, and then V and Nyx are kind of just like, they disappeared off the face of the fucking earth. Before I die, I want my something nice. And maybe I'll take you for a ride. You hit me yesterday, 'cause I made you cry. What the fuck is autocorrect? Dude, autocorrect just likes to fuck people over. But I don't have any money. I don't have any money. I want to buy you something. I don't have any money. Someone's seducing the entire town in Stardew Valley. Let's go rate them, why not? Give me someone to invade slash. I found someone! I found someone! There we go. I love how all my moms are just in the chat and they're just like, nah, actually 3 of them are here. But all my friends. Also, yeah, I will be live tomorrow. There will be a cooking stream on Friday. It's going to be anywhere between 12 to 2 Central Standard Time. And then I will do another stream because I did not realize that is Christmas Eve. So I'll be doing 2 streams on Friday. There'll be one probably later. That will be like until 12 a.m. because I like doing those. I'm also planning another week stream that's going to be sometimes in the summer. I'm just saying that now, so in case I like disappear off the face of the fucking earth, you'll know what's up. Let's see, what else? I think that's all of the importance. I will be... What's tomorrow? I will be live tomorrow. And I think that is everything. Actually, let me bust. Never mind. The full face cam said fuck you. Never mind. Let's see. Anything else? No. Alright, go right. Let me go eat my fucking food. Goodbye. Let me go into another plane of existence with the Sprite. No, I'm not burning down my house. Actually, I might. Who knows? I can't cook for shit. Also, give me cooking ideas over my Twitter. Okay, but goodbye.